How you doing?
Doing well. Just keep my head in the books and eyes in the sky and enjoying life.
Yeah, that's a good point. We don't look up enough, but we got to keep an eye on the signs and times. But go ahead.
The question I have for you is, everyone's always talking. I know that everyone is still in this religious mindset, so majority of the questions are going to continue to revolve around Anunnaki. So I'm going to propose this question to you.
Tour.
Zachariah Simpson,
Yeah.
who was known for being able to decipher these tablets that was pulled out of the earth millions of years ago written. Now, with the exception of the master teacher, who in the world taught these cats how to read these ancient writings? Because I always say the same thing. You know, how did Henry Ford build a car when we were still riding horses and carriages? He had no knowledge of a car. So where these Europeans come from with this concept that they could actually read scripts written by our ancestors when I know for sure, based on the teachers from the master teacher, that they weren't around when they was explaining how to read and write and speak the ancient language. I get off here and I'll listen to your response.
No problem. Appreciate love. Thank you for your question as usual. Yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
sometimes we kind of overcomplicate things. The answer is that they have contacts with extraterrestrials who teach them. And these extraterrestrials, Anunnaki, again, remember, they're different beings when we say Anunnaki. And the Pleiadians and certain beings they're in contact with, because even if you remember, like, the visitations from these beings I just mentioned, Val Thor, for example, who was a Venerian, or even the Ashtar Federation that were in contact with Hitler, they're able to just telepathically communicate to you and teach you and read and show you things and just put chips in you. And they do, and that the guy that's sending rockets up, right? He's putting chips in people's brain. He's actually got a whole company now. And the master told us many years ago that they can just put a chip in you and you'll be able to speak any language now, you know? And this is alien technology. So yeah, if you study, you know, Zachariah Stitchin and go back and look at him, he was basically stitching. I always say stitching. He was again in contact, and so yeah, that's the answer really. They can they can project things, translate. Like even when a master teacher is explaining when the beings, the three beings, Alamo, Sa'at, and I always forget the last one, Krill, when they visited him, at first he was afraid, and then they kind of walked up to him, touched him, and then he could now hear them telepathically communicating with him. They would take him on the craft and, you know, show him constellations, show him screens, and he's just able to. I'm going to give you all a secret, or well, not a secret, but something that is very. I wonder if I should. Now I'm going to tell you in the Telegram group, because join the Telegram group and I'll tell you something that you probably never heard before. In terms of, yeah, what I was about to say. I'm going to leave it. That's a teaser. But basically, these beings were able to communicate and show the master teacher information in a way that he's just able to know without really having to study. And that's where we're going now, where when you're talking about AI, the way AI works is kind of how social media emerged, like Facebook. These platforms basically allowed you to feed them information, and through that information they were then able to utilize it to market and, you know, make money from your content, because you just gave your content for free, because people were like, oh, look at me, I'm eating this, I'm here, I'm on this holiday, and I'm here and I'm there, and they just fed the database with the information. Now the next upgrade to that is AI, because remember, you had to now have search engines to manage the information, because we moved into something called the information highway, where so much information was coming at you that in order to find information was difficult. So they came up with search engines. You know, you had different search engines, Yahoo, and now you have Bing, you have obviously Google being the number one to search and find information. but all that information is stored on databases, on servers, and now AI is able to collect all the information. It's machine learning, it's learning everyone's information from these databases. So it's able to learn very quickly, and it's able to not just, just one search engine, it's searching all the search engines. So I'm basically saying that to say that artificial intelligence can appear to be intelligent, and now they're moving it into humanoid bodies or robotoid bodies, which eventually will have a skin suit. And there are beings, the master has explained to us, these days, even with the like Hollywood and with the what they call effects, they'll have masks and things that look so real that you won't know that it's not a real person. They show you this in Mission Impossible as well, if you watch the movie. So we're moving to a state where these technologies are now going to become so real. I mean, they're making, artificial, I'll just say boyfriends and girlfriends to make it, children friendly. But yeah, we're living in a day and time where technology, extraterrestrial technology, and somebody was asking what they're going to do with us. Some extraterrestrial want to utilize it to wipe out humanity because they see the things we do as barbaric and destroying the planet, and they want to basically get rid of you because they look at you as a manifestation. You're infesting the planet. So we have to raise our consciousness and act and behave by way of a shook love for divine love, for the planet, for ourselves, and we don't carry on like barbarians shooting and killing each other and fighting over, things like land and, So yeah, I hope that's answered that question.